Hello and welcome to Crafting with Jane. Today, what are we doing? I've made a little frame, very simply just taking two rectangle dies. So let me show you. These are just rectangle stitch dies. Any rectangle dies would do, and what you do is you take one, I think it was this size. No, it's a bit bigger. So you take one die that size, like that, and you run it through your die cutting machine, and you'll get a solid piece out like that, obviously with the stitched. Then the easiest way is to take a couple of sizes down from that, because you don't want it, you want a reasonable size frame, and then you put that inside. So for example, on this one, if I went down to, imagine it was stitched, you put that in there. You can line that up far easier. Obviously you're going to be doing it this way around, but you can line it up far easier, and you will then get a perfect little frame, and you can make a frame of any size you want. So that's our frame. We then have a piece to go behind the frame, which is why I've just cut it out. All it needs to do is the frame needs to cover it. So we're going to have that, and then we're going to do some more bits to the card. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make this frame look pretty. Now I'm getting my really scrappy mat out that I do all sorts of things on, because it's going to get not overly messy, but it's going to get a little bit messy. So I don't want to ruin my new work thing. I'm using Island Indigo, which is a sort of indigo blue colour, and what I'm going to do is I am just going to sponge the outside of this, and I want it as dark as I can get it. So I'm going to probably do it round once, and then I'll probably come back and do it again. In fact, I might actually do it with, says me thinking about it, I need to go round once, but I might do it with an alcohol marker, because I want it fairly dark. But I also want it, we're going to make it into a really rather fun frame. And you can do this with any frames you make, whether you make a circle frame or whatever, it's entirely up to you. But you can make it like that. So I'm just going all the way round, sort of as dark as I can, really. And I don't think I am going to do it with an alcohol marker, because I think that this will probably give it, what I want is for it to be a distressed look. So that's that with that ink. Now I've got Night of Navy, which is a very dark ink. Let me just put it back up on the shelf. Okay, so this is a very dark ink, Night of Navy, and I'm using this crackle stamp, Journaling Textures #2. This is becoming one of my favourite stamps, because it gives you that crackle look without having to do the 2 steps and all the rest of it to make it. So what I'm doing with this is I am just going to ink this up. Like that. And then I'm going to just stamp it round on the edge. And can you see how we're getting this really rather nice crackled look to it? Okay, now I need to do this again. Ink it up, and we might get it from 2. So let's put this one up here like that. Turn it round this way like that, and then I might just get this one without having to redo it. See if I can get that, and might have to do it this way. It's all right, isn't it? I really want to just have that little bit in there, so I am going to just do it a little bit more. Okay, so that's given us this crackle look round the side. Now what I want to do is, I'm just going to clean that off. I don't like leaving, as you know, things that are not cleaned. So I'm just going to clean my stamp, and then it comes up beautifully and clean. As I say, your stamps will last you your lifetime if you look after them. If you don't look after them, then they won't. So it takes 2 seconds to clean them up afterwards, and if you do that, they stay as good as they were when they were new. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to take a little piece of like scrap paper here. I'm just going to fold it in half so I can then put it back in. Put this on here, and then what I want to do is I want to emboss it. So I've got some clear embossing powder, and all I'm going to do is I am just going to get some VersaFine, which is sticky ink. You can see I've used it a lot for all sorts of things, so I'm going to do it on here actually. So all I'm going to do is just give it a tap of this all the way around the side, and because we're doing the whole thing, it doesn't really matter that you don't need to use an embossing buddy to make sure that you haven't got sticky fingers, because we're doing the whole thing. And then you're literally just going to pour your powder over the top. So I'm going up and down on these pieces first, and then just in and across here, just in and across there like that. Okay, so I just need to sort of shake this about a little bit. There we go, and that's given us the frame covered. Now I might do it a couple of times. We'll see how it comes out the first time, because the more you build it up, the more you'll get a real sort of frame look, and the embossing just makes it look really rather nice and glossy. Always put your lid back on. So let me just get my heat tool out. I'm going to heat it off camera just a minute for it to warm up, because if you warm it up first, it will then work really well. I've got a little paintbrush because sometimes it'll blow about, so I just need to touch it on the side, and then I'm just going to take this, and can you see how it's starting to turn? So I'm just going all the way up here. And you can see you get this really lovely glossy look. Just working my way up. And that's why I'm doing this on old mats. So this little mat, I'm using it for all sorts of stuff that I really don't mind about, because, you know, yes, I can give it a bit more of a clean up, but it is going to get quite mucky. Okay, so that's, make sure I've done it up on there. That's one layer. Now, I think I am going to do another layer, because I think it looked better with 2 layers on there. So I'm literally just going to put this back out. We're going to glue it again. So all I need to do is to go round on here and make sure that I've got as much sticky ink on as I can. Like that. Then I can pour the powder. Let's just take this up again. Then I can pour the powder on here. And you can see how it's come out a little bit, but it's not as strong as I'd like it. So I'm just going to put some more down on here. I am running out of it, but I have got another pot. I went to the Farnborough Craft Show at the airport, which is a huge, huge show. And, oops, I got some hair on that one. Okay, and I'm just going to try and get a little bit more just up in on here, and a little bit more just dip up in on that bit like that. I think that's a bit better. We'll see. We'll see. Let me just take what I've got left in here, because every little bit you can just pour back into your pot and use again and again and again until there's none left at all. And then I'm just going to heat this one up again, and with a bit of luck that will give us a nice look. So my gunwood should be nice and hot, so we just need to heat this up. And you can see how it goes really nice and glossy. Hope you can see that as I'm working my way around. So I'm just going to turn it around this way. Turn it around that way. Going to be much nicer, this one. So 2, and you can build it up and build it up and build it up and do as many layers as you want, but 2 will give us a nice glossy look to it. So that makes it look like a picture frame. So I'm just going to give it a few seconds. Oh, I've missed that little corner. Can you see on here where it's just not quite shiny? So I just need to make sure I've got just in onto that corner. Better. Okay, so I've now got this. I can take that off of here. Let's put it just onto the back of this paper. Don't want to touch it too much till it's dry, so I don't get finger marks on. But I hope you can now see how, let's bring that up a bit. Can you see how beautiful it's very, there we go. You see how beautiful and glossy it is? It's like a beautiful picture frame. Okay, so that's that bit done on there. Now what I want to do is, this is going to be the little frame that's going to go behind it. And I want to do a sort of a little, probably a background with a bit of a sunset or something like that in there, so that it just looks really rather pretty. So let me just get my sponge daubers out. I'm going to have a bit of a moon in there, I think. So let me have a look, and what I need to do is I need to make sure that I've got on the frame's going to come out like that. So I just need to work out where I'm going to have my little moon. Now, little circle punch will give me my moon. I can do this just out of this little bit of, I've got a bit of paper here, haven't I? That will work. Got some twine on here. So I'm just going to take that out. Okay, and then I can just pop him just in like that. So I know that I'm going to have a little moon about, it's got to be about there. So you see, when I take it out, it looks as if it should be further away, but it's going to be about there. And then I need some colours. So what colours are we going to do? I think I'm going to do some, in fact, I'm going to use my Distress Oxides, I think, because they will give a nicer look, but I don't know whether they'll come in. I haven't got anything that's dark enough really, so I'm going to use my good old Stampin' Up ones, and we're going to have we want a pink and a purple for the back of the sky, but we need quite a bit of orange because our background is orange, so I'm going to have some orange in there as well. And then we want some blue. Let's just have a blue like this. Okay, so those are a few colours. I need to make sure that I don't put this flat, because otherwise we're going to get it, it's going to get a bit warped. So let me just put that there. Okay, so sponge daubers, this was the one that I did that was a dark blue, wasn't it? So I can do that round the edge. I want to have one that's going to come round that moon, sun, whatever, and I'm going to take the Calypso Coral for this, I think. So we start off with this orange, and I'm going to hold it just with my finger and just go round the outside like this. And it doesn't matter if you've got blobby bits, because we're going to be building it up. So I'm just taking it down like this. Okay. And then I just need to turn it round this way. Okay, so I've still got my finger in the way. Now you can put it down with a little bit of tape if you want to. I'm quite happy just holding it with my finger. And then we're going to take that round like this. And it's just going to come up to it like that. Okay, so that gives us a really sort of white moony piece on here. And I do want to just tone it down a bit. You don't want it too stark. Okay, so that's given us that piece on there. Now I want to take the next colour up. So that's going to be this pink. So we're going to have the bright pink in here, and I'm just going to take a one which can be pink. That can be pink, can't it? Yep. And then I'm just going to take that from the corners and blend it in with the others. So if you keep just blending it through. And again, it doesn't really matter too much that you're getting sort of blobby bits like that, because as you start blending it through, you're not going to see those bits at all. Okay, so that's our next colour coming out. And then we're going to have the darker, so this is the dark purple, which can be that colour. And this one is going to be down in on the edge here. Okay, and if I want it to go a little bit quicker, I can use my, whoops, get my paintbrushes out. Don't want my paintbrushes at the moment, do I? Put them back in the pot. I've got my blending brush. If I do the blending brush, it will go a little bit quicker. So can you see on here? It will go a bit quicker, and you can see I'm blending it through like that. And then I want to go back to the orange. So I'm just going to take that up like that. And then I'm going to take this orange and just bring it through. Round on there. A little bit of ink up on my moon, but that doesn't matter too much. I'll just put that in round on here. Okay, so that's given us sort of that really nice look to it. And if I wanted, I was going to do the dark, where was that dark blue that I wanted? So that was the Night of Navy. I'm just going to put these just straight up on here for a minute. I'll sort them out at the end. And whoops, have I got that? Yes, here we go. So the Night of Navy is the darkest colour, and that will work beautifully just to tone right at the edge in. So can you see how that's coming darker, as if we're in a really dark setting, which the sky would be if it was coming through. And I'm just going to take it. Some of it's not going to show that much, but I just want to take it in just a little bit to just darken it. So you've got those bits darkening in the sky. I can put these ones back because I don't think we're going to need those anymore. And if they get too mucky and too filled with colour, you can always wash them. So what I tend to do is once every 6 months or so, I'll stick the whole lot in the sink with a little bit of washing up liquid or soap, and then that will work. Okay, so this is our frame. We want our frame to come in over the top like that. So that then that gives us that little bit of background coming through. Okay, so I need to put this on here. And I'm just going to bend it round. Now I just need to check and see that I've actually got enough glue on here, because I'm not sure whether I do. So this is going to come in like this, isn't it? So it doesn't come all the way down. All I want to do is to take this. So we'll put the glue in this way if there's some left. And if there's not, oh yes, we're all right. So I'm just doing it round the edge like this, so that we make sure that we have glue to stick this frame down, or stick the picture down. So what I need to do is I need to do it this way, because we want to have this so that it comes in perfectly across on here like that. Okay, so then when I turn it round, we've now got our lovely frame with our picture in there. So let's take that out of the way for now. So that's our frame, that's our picture. Now what I want to do is, that's going to go in like this, and this is a little background piece that I've got, which I can just put down like that. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there, because we've got those colours which tone in, which is sort of why I wanted the peachy colour. And then this is the girl, and I'm going to have her sitting here looking up at the moon. So I want her at that sort of angle. She's not going to come, she's going to come so that she's not, do I do her so that she sits there, or do I take her a bit lower? I think I need to take her a bit lower and off. So I'm just going to glue her on there like that, or I could take her with dimensionals. Dimensionals or foam pads might be a better idea, because that'll keep her, just raise her up a little bit so that she's as if she is sitting in front of the frame, which is what we want. So let me just grab a sheet of these, and we need to put these on her face first. So you can see how I've used this piece from both sides. So we want this on here like that, and I think the top piece is, yes, it's going to come right the way up to here and then down. So I'm just going to take this bit like this, I think, to start off with. And I think that will probably, is that going to work where I want it? Now I want another couple down in here, don't I? So let's just pop one there. I can always cut it off a bit if it's too much. Whoops. Need to put that one back. It's the only trouble with these, the tops of them seem to come off a little bit. And if they come off, you then end up with bits everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to take this off like this. So I'm just taking those off. And that's what I mean, you know, don't waste your paper. I use the paper on the other side because I'd obviously done something which I didn't like that much. Okay, so she's going to come about there, I think. So let's pop her in like that. Then I need to take the scissors. And what I want to do is, we're going to take it right across here. Like that, and then we're going to take it up here. So she's peering into, there we go. So you've just got the side of her peering in, looking up at the moon, which I think looks really good. Okay, so we need to glue this. Again, I don't like wasting my papers, so I cut this one out like that to go on there, and I thought, well, nobody's going to see this bit, so I've cut that out because I can do another card with it, and I will probably do that as like my next one to just show you that you can, you know, you just don't waste anything. I'm just on my last bit of glue with this. Once I've done this, I will get a new one out, but it's just about will last me. So this is the background paper, which, as I say, you could do the whole thing, and I'm just doing this. This is literally a 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card. So I just cut that, and then I cut the frame so that it would just work where I wanted it. So that's there. Then this is going to come in and glue in on top like that. So I need quite a bit of glue because we've got a bit of a step up here. Again, I could use some foam pads to get a bit of height on it, but I'm not that fussed. I want it to be fairly flat if I'm posting, because the postage is getting more expensive. It's going up again in October next month, so you know, it's, and I think it's going up another sort of 30p or whatever. It's getting ridiculous, it really is, you know, for sending cards and things to people. It's getting more and more expensive just to send a card. So if you send quite a few cards a month, which is what I tend to do, I'm just eking this glue out to just get as much as I can. I'm literally on the last dregs of this, so we should just about do it. So, and she is going to come in like that, and I'm just going to have to hold this down a little bit, because where we did the embossing to get this lovely shine on it and to get that texture, you need to let that glue make sure that it comes down. Okay, so she's now standing looking up at the moon, which I think is lovely, and then all you need to do is to put a little sentiment or something in there, which I was just thinking. So before I finish this, I'm going to just have a quick look at the sentiments to see if I've got, I don't know whether I've got them in this little one or not. I just want something really small and little. I'll look through and find it, because I won't be able to find something, but I want something with the moon. But you can see how that really looks a beautiful card now. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you'll have a go. As always, be safe and well, be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.